Hi, this is Nikolai from Bunker Samples, and I hope you can hear me over the Vietnamese pop music in the background. I want to talk to you about a very personal project. You see, I'm a violist. I worked in different orchestras for about 10 years, and then I had my own recording studio for a few years where I worked as a remote session musician. So the point is, I know how to record strings, and the conventional wisdom is that you want to get quite far away from the instrument, at least a meter, because you want a sound to melt together. But I've been thinking since I started sampling that there's a sound you never hear. That is the sound that I hear right under my ear, very close, very intimate. All the little human imperfections, all the bow noise, all the stuff you don't hear in a hall or when you put the mic further away. And I've been wanting to capture that sound for a while now. What's interesting is that the bow noise, all the little imperfections, you hear them most at the very quietest, the very softest dynamics. So I wanted to create an intimate viola library that focused exclusively on very, very soft textures. Now, of course, there are two ways to make a sound quiet on a viola. You can play very soft, and then you can put a mute on. So every articulation in this library, every texture is recorded both with the mute and without the mute. But not only that, for the standard sustains, I also used a practice mute, which mutes the sound even more. So with that out of the way, I knew I wanted to create a library that focused on solo viola, very soft textures, and recorded very, very close. So I developed a recording technique with two microphones very, very close to the instrument, one focused on the left side, one focused on the right side, about 20 to 30 centimeters away. And that is a lovely sound, and in a minute you'll hear it. And then I thought, how can I get closer? And there was really only one very obvious solution. Go inside. So I made this contraption that let me put a tiny little mic inside the viola, and it's a glorious sound. Interestingly, it has a lot of bow noise. You wouldn't think that sound coming from inside the instrument, but it does. So with this library, you get three close mic positions. You get the inside mic, then the super close, and then a normal close, which is a U87 in the middle, and then two 184s on the sides to give you a stereo perspective. But that's not all. I also wanted to capture the sound in a more conventional way, so we also have a mid perspective, which is two AKG 414s on a stereo bar about 2 meters away. And then we have a far perspective, which is two Telefunken M60s at the very back of the room and very wide apart. So it's a very wide perspective. So let's go back to the studio and listen to some of these sounds. So here we are. This is very much work in progress. The interface is not finished at all. I'm not sure I like the background. These are obviously not going to look like that, and there's going to be an effects section and all sorts of other things. I do like the buttons and the graphics, so they're probably staying. So these are all the single articulation that's going to be in the library, and then there's going to be some swells as well that we're going to look on later. So as you can see, there are three types of sustain. There's sustain normal with no sordino, and there are three dynamics. Piano pianissimo, very, very soft. Sounds like this. I have created some simulated dynamics. These are mapped to CC3 at the moment because my mod wheel is broken. Sounds like this. I think that is a gorgeous sound. You hear all the detail, you hear all the little imperfections in the bow noise and everything. And the sample's really long. There are about 16 seconds for all the sustains. So it takes a while before you get to the loop point. Here's a slightly louder version of that. And there's some playing chords, because I do consider this to be very much a textual instrument, but you can play single notes. And if I can make a scripted legato work, that's going to be included as well, but I'm not making any promises yet. So you get the real start of the note, the real attack of the bow. I was obviously playing very soft with a little bit of vibrato. And the loudest version of that, we have good range, 3 octaves and then some. So it goes all the way up to here. Then we get to the normal sordino, the normal mute, the very soft. Slightly louder. I think this is one of my favorite sounds in the library. Well, actually I like them all. And then we have the practice mute, the big mute. I call it super sordino, super contadino. Very, very quiet. Let's talk about the mic position. So usually we have inside, super close, close, mid, and far. The inside mic sounds like this. So interesting, you hear a lot of bow noise. Then we have the super close, probably my favorite single mic sound. Let's hear that with the, I'm going to fade in the inside mic so you can hear exactly what it does. Let's try the same thing with a sordino, maybe something up high. Feeling it out. There's a standard U87 and two 184s on the sides. Let's pick a different sound for that. Some bow pulses, contadino. And I'm changing the dynamics now, it's easy free, which you can't see. The mid perspective, a bit further away, still kind of narrow. But you get a lot more room sound. Let's take out bow pulses without the sordino. These are right at the back of the room and very wide. So together with the mid perspective, it sounds like this.
Vibrato pulses, I think this might actually be my favorite. Let's bring in a bit of close mic as well. So this would be sort of the mics you find in a standard library. I just love that articulation. Then we have some rebowing, just random data shape basically. Tremolo bursts. If you own Bunker Strings Volume 2, you will recognize this articulation. And one of the things people said about it was that they thought it was a bit too thick, too many players. So they wanted a solo version. Well, here it is. And with Sodino. Fluctuating trem is similar, but there is no help note. Everything is tremolo, but the tremolo goes sort of in and out of speed. Like that. You get this lovely shimmering effect. Let's make it a bit less stereo. Then we have some sustained harmonics, way up high. Also with dynamic control. Simulated dynamics, of course, but still. So I'm working on some dual layer articulations, which is basically fading from the concertino into the normale. Of course, this is not possible in real life, but doing the impossible is what I like about sampling. So it sounds like this. So now we're only hearing the sordino sound, and a fade into the normale. Let's hear that with the tremolo fluctuations. I just love playing with these sounds. It's so beautiful. Let's hear the same thing with my favorite sound. The library also have swells, and they come in 4 different lengths and 3 different variants. So you have normale, concertino, and then concertino tremolo. So here are the 4 seconds. That means 4 seconds up and 4 seconds down. So the whole swell is 8 seconds. And I love staggering these. You don't have to play them all at once. So you can just go. And the same thing, concertino. And concertino tremolo. And if I play a chord with that, so that was a quick look at the sounds. And now back to Nikolai in the cafe to talk about how you can get this and when you can get it.
I hope you enjoyed that little preview. As you can see, there's still a bit of work remaining, mostly a bit of scripting and interface design. The sounds are mostly where I want them to be. So how much is this going to cost? Well, I'm thinking the full library will be somewhere between $80 to $100. Haven't fully decided. There will be an intro price for about a month, which will be somewhere between $49, maybe $59. Still haven't settled, but I have settled on offering a pre-order price, and that's going to be just $39. That's going to be the absolute cheapest way to get this library. And because it's so cheap, I am limiting the availability to 100 copies. So if this is a library you're interested in, I highly recommend pre-ordering now and quickly before the availability runs out. 100 copies, $39. That's quite a deal, I think. I don't know what you think, but for me, these are some of the most beautiful textures I have ever recorded. And I think with the inside mic together with all the other mics, you have a huge amount of flexibility in how you shape the sound, and that makes the library very, very usable. I also think it's going to be the ultimate Scandi Noir solo viola texture library. I know that's a small market, but I think this is going to be number one. Hope you agree. Only one question remains: when will it be available? If you pre-order, you get it the day it's released, and that will be somewhere between 2 weeks if everything goes well, but I've been doing this long enough to know that my estimates are always off. So 2 weeks is absolute best case scenario, I think. Worst case scenario will be 6 weeks. Should give me enough room. I really think, yeah, between 2 to 6 weeks. That's the best I can say right now. Mid-September, I think. And as I mentioned, if you pre-order, you will get it on the day it's released. The moment it's released, you will get an email. So I hope you enjoyed this little preview, and I hope you get to enjoy this library. It's been a lot of fun to make. It's the best thing I've ever made. I know I said that about Bonker Strings Volume 2, but I really think this is better. And I think you'll agree when you get your hands on it. Until then, peace. Have a good one. Bye-bye.